Madam Chair, noong nagsagutan na kayo, ikaw, Representative Kimbo, tsaka Representative Castro, about the 11 days, 19 days, ilang days na yon ng utilization, nakita ko na that was the start of an attack against the Office of the Vice President, and i-hinge yung attack on the confidential fund use. So nakita na namin yung timelines and nakita na namin yung kumbaga script sa narrative ng attack on the Office of the Vice President with regard to confidential funds. So to show goodwill to the people and para mapabigyan ng muka na sinabi namin na hindi namin napapadali ang trabaho namin dahil sa confidential funds, dahil natatarget namin kung saan dapat ilagay ang proyekto, pero pwede kaming magtrabaho ng walang confidential funds. That is the reason why hindi na namin ginamit ang fourth quarter na confidential funds sa Office of the Vice President to show the people, the public, that we are in good faith sa paggamit ng confidential funds. And we are true to our word na sinabi namin na napapadali ang trabaho, pero pwedeng i-give up yan.
That was your last question.
Oh, would the
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair?
Madam Chair.
Let us just finish, Honorable Gutierrez.
Given the substantial response this time, Madam Chair, I'd like to follow up the question. But isn't it the case for this batch of confidential funds? This was issued through the GAA, and therefore it went very precisely, may NEP po yan as part of the President's budget. You made your case before the DBM for 500 million. So the expectation is there was a program to be followed for disbursement for 500 million. Isn't it, Madam Chair, when we indicate in our GAA certain allocations, the expectation is that it would be utilized to its fullest extent? Would this mean, Madam Chair, that the confidential fund, even for any supposed program submitted to the DBM, is actually discretionary on the part of the public official? Madam Chair.
Madam Vice President.
Madam Chair.
Let's just finish. Madam Vice President.
Yes, Madam Chair. Yung paggamit namin, kanina in-explain ko na, hindi na namin ginamit. Kasi nakita na namin sa timeline may sagutan ng 11, 19 days, and then meron nang lumabas na AOM ng COA within days, and then meron na namang lumabas na another AOM. So nakikita na namin yung pattern noong attack. That's why we decided in the Office of the Vice President na wag na dagdagan pa yung bala ng attack at ipakita sa mga tao na yung confidential funds, we are in good faith of using that and goodwill namin na napapadali yung trabaho, pero pwede siyang hindi gamitin ng Office of the Vice President.
Salamat.
Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Gutierrez.
Madam Chair.
Yes, unless it's a point of order, we will not entertain.
Since my name is mentioned by the Vice President, may I answer? May I comment also, Madam Chair?
Just a short interjection.
Yes, kasi yung sinasabi niyang attack, hindi ko po naintindihan yung attack. Nagtatawanan daw tayo during the, kung ano man yung sinasabi, on 11 days, I think hindi ako yon, no? I-review niya yung naging proceedings noong 2023 na budget. Second, Madam Chair, hindi ko maintindihan itong attack na to kasi legitimate yung ni-raise natin about confidential funds noong 2022 na nakita naman talaga natin on records na wala talagang item na confidential funds sa 2022. Kaya ni-raise natin yon, Madam Chair, at wala akong planong i-attack. Para saan? Ito, ginagawa lang natin, di ba? Dahil ito, trabaho naman natin, mandated tayo na busisiin ang mga budget related sa iba't ibang mga agency. So, hindi ito, wala itong wala itong intention, but for the sake of the budget lang at tinitignan naman, nakita naman natin ano, na walang line item sa 2022 budget. Kaya dapat lang na ma-explain. At kaya nga yun, ano, nagkaroon na tayo ng audit at ano na, yung galing na sa COA at naintindihan na natin kung paano yan, ano, ginamit. So, I beg to disagree na sa umpisa pa lang ay may plano na ako na mag-attack kanino sa Office of the Vice President. And in fact, nag-request pa nga siya ng budget for confidential fund in 2024. Na kung di natin na-discover yung 2022 na confidential funds, well, magtutuloy-tuloy pa rin yung ganyan, Madam Chair. So, yes, Madam Chair. So, I beg to disagree na meron akong intention na mag-attack sa kanya or sa Office of the Vice President.
Point of clarification, Madam Chair.
Yes, Honorable Dan Fernandez.
Clarification.
Just the last one. And
I
then
just wanted to be clarified, Madam Chair, because there's accusations coming from the Vice President that there is a collective action that to be taken by this committee on attacking the budget, especially the COA report on the confidential fund of the Vice President. I think we need to be clarified if there is such action that will be taken by this committee. I think it is unfair to all of us, especially kami, galing lang po kami sa kabilang hearing and we decided to check it out, what is being discussed in this committee. Then suddenly we will be a part of this conspiracy or a collective action that will be taken against the confidential fund of the Vice President. And hearing the side of the Vice President on the repetitive reply on not answering, I think it will set a bad precedent. What prevents other departments that we will be inviting over to do the same? And I think it is incumbent upon her, with all due respect and with humility, for us to be clarified on those budget that was used for the confidential fund. And I think being a part of the accusations that we are part of the collective action to malign her on the confidential fund is something that is out of order. I know, Madam Chair, that kung titignan naman po natin yung budget niya for 2025 na 2 billion and comparing to 2024 budget na 1.8, myself, I will move to approve this budget. Because ang liit lang naman po ng increase niya. But what hurts me ay yung pong masama po tayo doon sa sinasabi po niya na meron po tayong collective action to malign her.
So do you wish to introduce a motion?
And ang sinasabi ko lang po sana, I want to be clarified that it is a collective action of this committee to have a malicious intent on asking the confidential fund of the Vice President on the previous years. We are doing that in the different committees. We are doing that in the different investigations. And what I'm trying to point out, Madam Chair, I hope that the accusation of the Vice President have basis on trying to involve everybody on this conspiracy to attack her.
So just to
I just want
clarify,
it to be clarified. Madam Chair.
absolutely, we have absolutely no plan, any conspiracy, if I may use that word, to attack, if I also may use that word. Nandito lang po tayo para kilatisin ang budget ng isang ahensya ng gobyerno. Yun lang po, maliwanag.
May point of clarification, Madam
yes po.
Chair. If that conspiracy theory of having this a pre-attack on her budget is being conspired by this committee. And if that is so, let me out, Madam Chair. Hindi po ako kasama doon. And I hope that the good Vice President will amend her statement involving everybody for this action taken by this committee. Madam Chair.
Would
Madam Chair,
Vice President wish to?
I did not say tumatawa. Gusto niyo ulitin? Gusto niyo ipabasa ulit sa Secretary kung ano sinabi ko? I did not say tumatawa kayo. Number 2, I did not say attack by the committee. Number 3, I did not say collective action. Sa kanya nang galing yun. I did not say conspiracy theory. Sa kanya nang galing yun. Pabasa niyo ulit kung ano sinabi ko.
And so, Madam Vice President, because those words were uttered
Madam Chair.
by
Madam
someone, I just
just because you don't like my answer, you don't like how I answer, you don't like my demeanor, hindi ibig sabihin na hindi ako sumasagot.
And that's the reason why, Madam Chair, I asked for the point of clarification.
yes. So
And,
again,
my-
I had.
now that the
Pwede lang
Vice-
po sana.
Now that the
Sandali
Vice
lang
President,
Po, sandali lang po, para hindi po tayo nagsasabay-sabay. Merong clarification na hiningi at nag-clarify naman po ako. Wala pong plano. Kasi kanina, very clear ang sinabi naman po, there was a plan. Stick to the plan. Wala rin po ako natatandaan. I kept saying, let us all stick to the issues, which is the budget. So yun na lang po. Let's just end here and so that we can move on.
yes, Madam Chair,
Kung
if I
pwede lang
may,
po sana, let's move on.
lastly-
Meron pa pong isang budget pagkatapos nito.
lastly, that's the reason why I asked for a point of clarification. The point of clarification is to be clarified by the resource person. And if that is the answer of the good Vice President, I will accept that her intention is not to involve everybody on a collective
Yes.
attack on
And
her
we're
budget.
happy with that
And I'm happy
clarification.
on the answer of the Vice President. But, of course, I just wanted to review the, anyway, thank you so much, Madam
Right,
Chair.
salamat.
Madam
So,
Chair,
yes,
a
Madam
point
Vice
of
President.
clarification is understandable if you want to be clarified of the words I uttered. I didn't say collective action. I didn't say
Yes,
conspiracy
it has
theory.
been made clear,
I didn't
Madam
say
Vice President.
I'm being attacked by the committee. Di ba nanggaling sa akin yun? So, anong ika-clarify ko doon?
Yes, ma'am, noted po. It had been
Yung
loud and clear
script
po.
kasi, nagkakabuhol-buhol na yung script.
Let's now proceed.
Chair.
Let's now proceed.
Madam Chair, just an inquiry from this representation. May I ask if this is a budget hearing on the budget of the OVP or is this a committee investigation already?
This is a budget briefing by the Office of the Vice President. And with that clarification, let us move on to the next member. Our Honorable
Madam
Vice
Chair.
Chair.
Madam Chair, I request a restroom break 1 minute. Thank you.
Briefing suspended.
OBP, can we ask?
Hindi na lang. The budget briefing is hereby resumed. Next to interpret is the Honorable Alan D.
Good afternoon, Madam Vice President, and to everyone. Before I proceed with my question, Madam Chair, let me make a manifestation. In the National Expenditures Program for fiscal year 2025, Volume 1, page 34 and 35, on obligations by object of expenditures, there's a column for GAA 2023, 2024, and 2025. That is on the operating expenditures. Likewise, in page 36, on the performance indication, there's a column 2023 GAA targets. In the briefing materials provided by the Office of the Vice President for fiscal year 2025, page 4 presented the comparative budget allocation and utilization for fiscal year 2019 and 2025. And also in the presentation, slide presentation of the Vice President in the physical accomplishment, that is GAA 2023. Madam Chair, if I may proceed with my questions.
Please proceed.
I will defer to the Vice President if she wishes to answer or not my questions. Under the obligations by object of expenditures in the 2025 National Expenditures Program, 375 million was obligated in 2023. Can you kindly confirm?
Madam Vice President.
Madam Chair, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the OVP 2025 budget proposal by question and answer, and I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal.
Honorable D.
Madam Chair, considering that what was obligated is 375, there's a balance of 125 million that has not been obligated and released, as earlier confirmed by our Vice President. Can she again confirm it? As to the amount?
Madam Chair, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the OVP budget proposal of fiscal year 2025 by question and answer, and I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal.
Madam Chair, may I ask the Vice President, what are the programs, activities, and projects that will be affected by the non-utilization or non-use of the 125 million of confidential fund?
Madam Chair, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the OVP 2025 budget proposal by question and answer. I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal.
Madam Chair, will the 125 million unobligated balance of the confidential fund be considered savings by the Office of the Vice President?
Madam Chair, I would just like to point out, yung previous question niya, sinagot ng sumunod niyang question. I will forgo the opportunity to defend the OVP 2025 budget proposal by question and answer, and I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal.
It's about savings, Madam Chair, if she will have it as a savings, considering that the budget has a validity period of 2 years, which will end in December 2024. So that is my question, if it will be considered as a savings by the Office of the Vice President.
Madam Chair, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the OVP 2025 budget proposal by question and answer, and I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal.
Madam Chair, is the Vice President aware that the Commission on Audit issued a credit notice dated August 8, 2024, finding no deficiencies on AOM Audit Observation Memorandum number 2024-015 dated February 1, 2024 regarding the liquidation of the cash advances of Mr. Edward D. Fajarda, Special Disbursing Officer for confidential expenses of the Department of Education, covering the period from February 20 to June 20 of calendar year 2023 in the total amount of 75 million.
Madam Vice.
Madam Chair, I cannot answer for the Department of Education.
But it was during her time that the period covered by this liquidation.
Madam Vice.
Yes. Madam Chair, I am no longer a part of the Department of Education. Therefore, I am not authorized to speak anything about the Department of Education. The question, ngayon lang binigay na hindi na ako secretary. It may have had happened during my term as secretary, pero yung question ngayon siya. Wala na ako authority.
No, that's why I'm asking if she is aware, because the credit notice was dated August 8, 2024.
You may proceed, Honorable T.
On the 2025 proposed budget, how much is the amount of funds allocated for financial assistance and subsidy for 2025 OBP maintenance and operating expenses of 1,792,391? How much is allocated for financial assistance and subsidy?
Vice.
Yes. Madam Chair, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President budget proposal of fiscal year 2025 by question and answer. I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal.
Madam Chair, she mentioned about programs of the Office of the Vice President. May I ask the breakdown, how much will be spent for those programs as she mentioned in her slide presentation a while ago?
Madam Vice President.
Yes, Madam Chair, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President 2025 budget proposal by question and answer, and I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal as it is.
So, Madam Chair, she also mentioned about duplications such as medical assistance and burial assistance undertaken by the Office of the Vice President, as well as of that of the Department of Health, Department of Social Welfare and Development. May I ask the Vice President, in order to streamline the bureaucracy and avoid overlapping functions, what are your thoughts on the possibility of reallocating the funds earmarked for medical assistance and burial assistance to the line agencies like Department of Health and DSWD?
Madam Chair, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President 2025 budget proposal by question and answer. I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal as presented.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. That's all my question, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Next to interpolate is the Honorable Mark Go.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Chair, to the Honorable Vice President and the other officials of the Office of the Vice President. My first question is directed to the Department of, or the COA. Is it a common practice, Madam Chair, that after an actual audit is completed, there is an exit conference conducted by the Commission on Audit with the institution that is being audited, Madam Chair?
Madam Vice President.
The question is directed to
ASCOM Julia.
Madam Chair, it is a regular activity before an audit report would be prepared. There will be an exit conference, but in other, for example, in the case of fraud audit, it is not mandatory to have an exit conference. they could only, if the agency or the auditee wishes to have an exit conference, then the team could grant an exit conference, but it's not automatic. But for regular audit, those under residency audit, they conduct exit conference.
In the case of the Office of the Vice President, in 2022, did you conduct an exit conference with the Office of the Vice President?
I have no personal knowledge, Your Honor, because I'm not the one who supervises the national government agencies.
May I ask the Vice President if they had this exit conference after the audit that was completed? Madam Chair.
Madam Vice President.
Madam Chair, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President 2025 budget proposal by question and answer, and we leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal as presented.
Well, I assume that if there was an exit conference conducted by the Commission audit with the Office of the Vice President, what were the initial findings of the audit conference? Or the audit as explained probably in the audit conference?
Madam Vice President.
Madam Chair, I think that question is best asked of the Commission on Audit, not the Office of the Vice President. What were the contents of the audit?
Volgo, what do you wish?
Yeah, I would assume then that there was an exit conference, and the exit conference was not satisfactory to the auditing department. That's why the the confidential fund, as indicated in the audit observation, we can see the findings because the audit or the exit conference was not successful in terms of resolving some of these audit findings of the Commission on Audit, Madam Chair.
Madam Vice President.
Yes, Madam Chair, we have received many audit actions from the Commission on Audit, and we have submitted our responses to them and assured the public of our full cooperation with the Commission on Audit.
Madam Chair, we have received a copy of the audit findings on dated August 8, 2024, issued by the Commission Audit. And have you submitted already your response to these findings, Madam Chair?
Madam Vice President.
I'm sorry, could you the last line?
Yes, could you kindly repeat your question, not to be included in your time?
May we ask if they've already answered, and if they can tell us the answer that they submitted to the Commission Audit on the findings of the Commission Audit as reported earlier? Madam
Vice
Chair.
President.
Madam Chair, I would not like to assume, but is this about the audit of the confidential funds or the audit of the entire Office of the Vice President?
Both, Madam Chair.
All right. On the issue of confidential funds, we have received audit actions from COA regarding the confidential funds of the Office of the Vice President. We have submitted our responses, and we assure the public of our full cooperation with the ongoing and unfinished audit. With regard to other audit actions, we assure the public that we have submitted our responses, and we are in full cooperation with the Commission on Audit.
Madam Chair, I have another question. You have experience using confidential fund, especially in 2022 and 2023. And in 2024, you don't have any confidential fund as well as probably in this proposal that you submitted in 2025, if you will make a comparison between having a confidential fund and not having, which of these you will choose if be given the opportunity, Madam Chair?
Madam Vice President.
Yes, on the issue of confidential funds, we have received audit actions from COA regarding the confidential funds of the Office of the Vice President. We have submitted our responses, and we assure the public of our full cooperation with the ongoing and unfinished audit.
Can you not share with us your experience on this, Madam Chair? On not having a confidential fund and having a confidential fund, considering the fact that you have both experience having one and not having one.
Madam Chair, I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President 2025 budget proposal by question and answer, and I will leave it to the House of Representatives to decide on the proposal as presented.
Okay, I think I will have the same answer with my other questions, so I will now end my interpellation at this point in time. Thank you very much, Madam Chair, Madam Vice President. Thank you.
Salamat. Next to interpellate is the Honorable Francisco Paulo Ortega.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Few short questions lang po. Nakakapanghinayang po na ang dami pong prepared na questions ng mga kasama natin. Ngunit marami pong hindi nabibigyan ng sagot. Una, siguro idedirekta ko po to sa COA na siguro kailangan yung responsiveness ng COA makikita at saka mararamdaman sa mga napaka-importante na issues na ganito. Kasi karamihan po sa atin ang gagaling sa local government. Nanggaling po sa local government. Alam po natin na minsan yung mga ganyang issues sa AOM, sa mga issues ng paglabag, saka hindi po tamang paggamit, nagiging problema po for local officials, even national officials. Parang po minsan kahit na 5 milyon, may nasususpending mayor, may perpetual disqualification, may mga ganun po na issues na I think this house, the members of this house were really focusing on those questions kasi nga po, nakikita po nila yung importansya ng questions na mga yon, Madam Chair. And makikita naman po natin, sabi nga po ni Kong Mark, my neighbor, na paulit-ulit na rin po yung mga sagot. Sana po baka may mga ibang membro ng opisina ng Office of the Vice President na nakatulong po or nakapagbigay po ng supplemental na sagot or dagdag man lang sana na sagot. Kasi ang dami po nung mga katanungan na parang wala lang, parang hindi na po nasama. Nandiyan naman po siguro yung support staff or may mga kasama po dyan. Sana po na mas nabigyan po ng kabuluhan yung hearing, Madam Chair. Thank you po, Madam Chair.
Okay, do you care to comment, Madam Vice?
Yes, Madam Chair, the reason why wala dito yung ibang officials ng Office of the Vice President because, and I will say, I will not betray the confidence of some members of the House of Representatives. Meron isa sa mga nagtanong kanina ang nagsabi sa akin na merong script sa pagtatanong about sa confidential funds. That is why I decided na hindi pa atinin yung mga ibang officials ng Office of the Vice President because nakalagay naman doon sa inyong invitation. And I quote, nasa yung copy. In this regard, may we respectfully invite the Vice President or her duly authorized representative. So it was in the alternative. So I decided I'll come alone, answer all of it alone. So that kung i-contempt man ninyo ako, Ako lang yung papasok doon sa detention at hindi na masali yung ibang tao dito at yung pamilya nila na nag-aantay sa kanila sa mga bahay nila.
Honorable Ortega.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Parang, I mean, naiintindihan ko kung saan po nanggagaling yung sagot na yun. Pero, resource persons naman po yung kailangan natin eh. More on budget hearing issues. Kung ibang issues yan, I doubt if it will come from this budget hearing. At sabi nga po ng mga kasama natin, Madam Chair, tungkol po talaga sa budget naman. Saka yung mga nakaraang nga pong budget ang pinag-uusapan. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, again, the invitation said or in the alternative, Vice President or. So, I am within my right of attending alone.
Yun lang po siguro, Madam Chair. Sayang lang din po yung pagkakataon. This is the perfect time na marinig din tayo ng not only our fellow representatives, pero syempre ng taong bayan din po kung paano po nangyayari yung mga ganitong bagay, paano po napapatakbo, paano po nagagamit. Siguro I'll stick to that as my final few questions, Madam Chair. Maraming salamat po. Thank you, ma'am.
Salamat. Next to interpolate is Honorable Benny Abante.
Salamat po, Madam Chair. Sana po ay matapos na po ito para masimulan na po natin yung budget ng Ombudsman. But anyway,